I decided to stop going to college. I had like a 3.7 or 3.8. I wasn't even studying, and I was taking, I think, 12 credits or something. And, so I didn't feel like I was learning anything that I didn't already know. And I really, really wanted to own a business. So at that point, I decided I want to learn from the School of Hard Knocks. And I eventually headed out west. And I landed in Las Vegas. I mean, where else, right? It was the entertainment capital of the world. And it was a great place to learn about restaurants. I worked as a bartender, a server, and I kept acting while looking for an opportunity to learn from a successful restaurateur. And then eventually, a girlfriend of mine at the time, she moved down to Palm Desert, and I followed her. And that's where I spent the next few years of my life working for some great organizations and training and learning the corporate side of things. I did it with Sullivan Steakhouses, did it with Pacifica in the desert, and eventually Roy Yamaguchi. I would work with the training teams and then got into management, and I would go around and help train as a manager, and then I would manage the places. I did numerous locations for Roy's, who ended up doing a joint venture with Outback. So I got a lot of this corporate experience. I learned about the marketing, how to be a partner, and through that process, I met this guy, Don Myers, and Don was the mentor I was looking for. He was the guy, he was funny, he was outgoing, and it was exactly what I was looking for to teach me the business. So at this point, I worked every position, the kitchen, dishwasher, every position in the house. And now I wanted to learn about owning the place. So after working with Roy and Sullivan's and Don, I ended up being introduced to an opportunity while I was in Vegas. And this opportunity was going to be the first time I would actually have stock in a company with a set of partners. And we started VegasHotspots.com, working directly with restaurants in the newly emerging nightlife market in Las Vegas. It was an interesting time. We were promoters that started by hosting bachelor and bachelorette parties. And then we became this full concierge service with transportation and personal access to anything you wanted in town. There wasn't anything we couldn't get. And there was nothing that we couldn't create. And quite simply, our jobs were to spend over $2 million a year partying on the Strip in Las Vegas. Not a bad gig, especially for someone in their 20s. So we built that business, and during the day we closed the sales, and then at night we went out networking, hosting the parties, and eventually that turned into destination management, where we were taking care of events and corporate events and organizing events that cost tens of thousands of dollars. So the business grew and grew, and then we had this amazing experience working with every top casino, nightclubs, all the restaurants on the Strip, and we had 13.coms that gathered all the leads for the folks coming to Vegas, and we took a much more hands-on approach than our competitors. Some competitors, we did similar things, but we had this corporate structure, and we were very hands-on, and we got to know our people very well, and we grew pretty rapidly. But after 5 years of doing this, it was kind of time to do what I wanted to do. I wanted to own and operate a restaurant. So the lifestyle was fun, but, quite honestly, my body paid a toll. And after visiting my doctor, I was told that if I continued living the lifestyle that I was living, that I was going to be dead in a year. Pretty sobering. I was ordered to visit a throat and ear specialist where I was diagnosed with possible throat cancer and scheduled for a second opinion. And then after a week of contemplating my death, it was confirmed that the diagnosis was incorrect. And I didn't have throat cancer, but I was still unhealthy. So my liver at the time was the size of a football, is what she told me, and it was time to seriously clean up my act. Anybody who's really been diagnosed with cancer can attest, even the thought of it shakes you to your core. And for me, it was a dramatic change. Needless to say, it changed everything, the way I looked at my life and what I was doing. And, coincidentally, or maybe not, a friend invited me to this event that ended up radically shifting the way that I approached living. I was introduced to effectiveness and emotional intelligence training. And for the first time in my life, I fell in love with reading about a subject that continues to intrigue me even today. I spent the next 5 months in challenging classes and staffing to support others in experience of that same type of transformation. My entire way of thinking was shifted. I realized that although I worked in service, I really didn't have a mission except for improving my own life. Because I grew up middle class, we never really had any extra money. And I never even had a pair of Nikes until I earned enough money to buy them myself. That created a sense of scarcity that plagued me for years. However, when I would do something charitable, I felt amazing. And I started infusing that into different areas of my life. I continued consulting on restaurants and nightclub projects with my business partners in Las Vegas. And while my girlfriend and I were talking, we decided to move to Central Oregon because of all these life changes. And another friend and I opened a restaurant together. Why Central Oregon? Well, I just wanted to get away from Vegas and get into nature. And I didn't want the temptation of the city or the materialism that was so pervasive. I needed to reset in my life. We ended up opening in February of 2008. And as you all know, the economy collapsed that year. Within the coming months, where we were completely collapsed, we finally started making some progress. And then the town, it came to a complete halt. So after numerous attempts to adjust, we had to make that tough decision to close it. And at the same time, fortunately, my partners in Vegas, they were working on a few deals, and we landed a lease at Mandalay Bay. I moved back. We opened Husong's Cantina out of Ensenada in January 2010. And after working a decade without a real vacation, I was ready for a break. I'd never been to Europe. And my girlfriend and I used my airline miles and our relatives in Europe. And we traveled for 9 months. And when I arrived back at home, we had a few other deals in the works. And so over the next few years, I was really busy. We opened 3 more locations, managed a nightclub in Scottsdale, and had numerous other consulting projects all around the country. And at the same time, I was honored to receive the Nevada Restaurant Association's Restaurateur of the Year. But, even with that, I wasn't feeling the fulfillment that I had dreamed of. We had a lot of fun being creative with fun concepts and local events. And we used the lessons that we learned from our failures during the recession, and we were able to use that to build a successful restaurant management company, but I wasn't fulfilled. So over the next few years, I became a dad. We moved to Prague, Czech Republic for almost 2 years. I began coaching others on finding fulfillment in what they do. I was facilitating leadership programs and public speaking on subjects, including operations, leadership, service, culture, effectively managing people. And although I dreamed of being an entrepreneur since I was a child, the most fulfilling aspect of anything that I was doing and anything I did was the service to others. Building people's confidence in their skills and watching them realize their dreams, that's what I enjoyed most. And that's exactly why I do what I do today. I've been business partners with one group of gentlemen for the last 15 years. We've all supported one another in our professional and our personal endeavors, and it's been an experience that I'm honored to be a part of. So I got to realize that part of my dreams. And today, I'm just thankful. I'm thankful for being a dad. It's been one of the best experiences of my life. I'm thankful that I've been able to travel to 23 countries. It's something I've always wanted to do. I'm thankful for being a business owner and for having the opportunity to reflect and to live in this time, in this day and age where the comforts are amazing, best they've ever been. This is the easiest human civilization has ever had. So I'm very thankful for it. And mostly I'm thankful for gratitude because I spent a lot of time thinking about myself and very little time working on improving the lives of others. And when I hit that point, it really made a profound difference in my life. So gratitude is something I've been working on for quite a few years now, and it's something I work at every single day. Some people have it much easier. Maybe they were taught this as a child or whatever in their life, but for me, it was one of those things that I had to be introduced to because it was always just about survival when I was younger. So, that's a little bit about me. And, one of the things I want to make sure we talk about in these upcoming episodes is not just about me. It's going to be about you and the people that we have on this program, because we're going to be talking about success and how success means different things to different people. So again, that's enough about me. Let's talk about the podcast and what's going to be coming up. So what can you expect to hear in the future on the podcast? Well, you can expect to hear about some amazing triumphs and some fantastic failures. We're going to discuss what success means to different individuals. Me personally, I was raised to believe that success had a large financial component to it. And although money is a great facilitator, I'm guessing we're going to hear other definitions of success that have a different outlook on the role money plays in it. So as I shared, my most fulfilling moments have been when serving others. After having a daughter, I honestly can't think of a better idea of success in my life. For me, just having her in my life, that's success. And seeing that my history is very food and beverage driven, I'm sure we're going to be talking about food, wine, spirits, as well as managing teams of passionate people. Well, I'm sure we're going to be talking about things that resonate in all of our lives. We're going to be talking about potential. The theme all along the way is that you have the potential to do what you put your effort into. You matter. You're worthy, and there are more paths than one that lead you to success. Whatever path is yours comes by way of many transformations in your life. Now, one of my favorite quotes that has stuck with me for a long time is, whether you believe you can or you cannot, you are right. That was Henry Ford. He said that almost 100 years ago, and it's no less true today than it was before he said it, even before his time. So I look forward to sharing many more moments with you all and building community of like-minded individuals. And I also envision us making a positive difference in the world through our willingness to transform into the best versions of ourselves. I truly appreciate you sharing your time with me, and until we meet again in the next episode, have a wonderful day. Thank you for listening to Own the Potential podcast. Please subscribe and share with friends and family so everyone can have the tools and support to overcome whatever obstacles are holding them back. Don't forget to come visit me at ownthepotential.com or email me at info@ownthepotential.com with any questions. Let's see where this goes.